All right, you guys seem to like that last one. I'm continuing with this Tales from GameStop. This is part 2 of this series, and I'm talking about the North Lake store. Now, if you're from Atlanta, there is North Lake and North Point, and they are not to be confused because North Point is sort of the upper middle class area of one of the suburbs of Atlanta, and then North Lake is right on the border of Stone Mountain and Tucker, and that area, little ghetto, little bit ghetto. It's kind of a rough area. So we got in there and I got the place and started operating it. You know, we got to change up, and I managed to hire a few people here and there. One guy, I can't remember his name, but he's a grown adult, grown man. But he kind of got hooked into this. It was for the PS2. I can't remember the name. It was very bright color. It was like, think of it as like a proto My Little Pony rhythm game on the PS2. I will have, by the time I edit this together, I will have figured out what game that was, and there will be a picture of it on the screen right now. But yeah, we were GameStop managers, and we had to be there, and it was kind of crappy. You know, you didn't get paid much, you get kicked around. So I would let my employees play the games. They had to know about the games to sell them. So if everything was caught up, I didn't care. I mean, we were pretty loose with the rules. It's not like GameStop doesn't even have consoles anymore. They back in the day, Funko Land and the early days of GameStop, there was like 5 or 6 consoles inside the store ready to play, so people could try out the games before they buy and things like that, and it worked out. But modern GameStop has just gotten rid of all of that, and it's just like buyer beware, have fun. Go out there and, you know, if you don't know what this title is, just go out there and try it. But that was the funny thing, is watching him play this sort of like girls game, rhythm game. It was very catchy. The soundtrack was very, very catchy to it. But yeah, he played all the way through that game on the hardest level. I was like, I was kind of impressed. But so the store there was sort of like, there was a TJ Maxx and a Marshall's in the area. So that kind of tells you what kind of shopping center this was. We were sort of used as the video game babysitter, and it used to absolutely drive me nuts with these parents. These moms would come in, and it was always moms. It was never dads. It was always the moms. They would drop their kids off in the store, and then just like, I would watch them pull up in front of the store, drop their kids off, and then drive off. They had no intention of buying anything. We were the video game babysitter while they went shopping wherever, and it was like, it wasn't too egregious all the time, but there was one lady. There was one lady. She was the worst offender of it. She would leave her kids. I kid you not, she left her kids there for 3 hours one time. And that was the straw that kind of broke the camel's back. When she came back, you know, I firmly told her, we are not a video game babysitter. Do not leave your kids here. Oh, she went on a hoochie rampage in my store on me. It got to the point where I was like, okay, you need to buy something or you need to get out. And she took her time shopping, and her little kids wanted to put all sorts of different video games in. And finally, this took forever, and she's just scowling at me, and I didn't really care. I was like, whatever, just buy something. That's all I need. That's all I need. All I need you to do is buy something. And, you know, we go through the whole thing, and she's talking about calling my manager, my district manager, and all this. And I'm like, okay, whatever, do it, and I'll just explain. You know, I'm kind of bulletproof right now because I'm the only employee. But she finally does that, and we get to check out, and her card declines. Oh my gosh. I don't know what was worse, her embarrassment or my struggle to keep from laughing out loud in front of her face. She kept us there late. We closed at 9. We were there with her kids and her meandering around the store until about 9:30. And oh, when that card declined, oh, sweet nectar, just watching her round her kids up, who she had no intention, and that's the funny part, she had no intention of buying a game. She got mad at me and out of spite was going to buy a game so that she could be considered a quote-unquote customer. Told her kids that she was buying a game, so her kids got all excited for a new video game. Oh, when that card declined for like the 5th time that we tried it, oh, I looked at her and I saw that moment of truth, that moment when somebody has like their moment of truth in life where they realize that they kind of suck. Oh, seeing that in her eyes, it was glorious. But yeah, that's the tale of video game babysitter. Other crazy things that happened there is I wasn't there for it, but Cameron and the district manager were there, and this dude comes in and asks for a job. He wants to work there, so he asked for an application, and you know they kind of BS with him, you know, shoot the shit with him, and he seemed like a pretty cool dude. They said he was wearing pants that were like 3 sizes too big and a wife beater that was 2 sizes too big. But he got the thing, everything went cool. He seemed like a really cool guy that they were thinking about, you know, kind of remembering his name so they could hire him. Well, he turns around and he's got a gun stuffed in the back of his pants. So I don't know, maybe he was there to rob the place and got cold feet, or, you know, maybe just the way that Cameron and the district manager talked to him, like, and that's kind of what we did with people there. You know, we didn't treat them like customers, you know, like GameStop does now, where they do you want a game rewards card? Do you want blah, 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 magazine subscription? Blah, blah, blah. We just treated them like your friend who was coming to visit you in the store. And that was sort of like the rule of thumb that I told all my employees. I said, don't worry about the pitch. You know, don't worry about selling that stuff. You can sell it. It's easier to sell it to your friend than it is to a random dude who's just here to get Donkey Kong 64 or whatever game, you know? So when you first talk to somebody, you meet somebody, just talk to them like your friend. And that was the situation. But yeah, I don't know if he was there to rob or he was there to actually ask for a job, but that's Tucker. That's North Lake area. The other story I want to tell, this dude, it's just a random Tuesday and I'm in the store by myself as usual. So this dude comes in and he's kind of sketchy looking, this skinny white guy, kind of you can tell he's a stoner. He may be more than that, you know, but he comes in, he's like, hey man, he's really quiet. He's like, hey man, are you willing to trade for a game? And I'm like, you know, I go through the spiel of like, yeah, there's trading credit and things like that. He stops me and goes, no. I mean, like I want to get, I think it was Metal Gear Solid that he wanted to get at the time. Or what was the Metal Gear on PlayStation 1? He wanted to get that Metal Gear. And he didn't have any money, but what he was offering is the mall was right next door. He was offering to go into JCPenney's or Sears or anything and steal something, bring it to me to trade for the Metal Gear game. He wasn't, you know, he was pretty good. He was a pretty good shoplifter at the mall apparently. And that's what he wanted to do. I was so tempted to tell him not to go get like a tire or a shirt or shoes or something like that. I was so tempted to tell him to go get me a mannequin. And it's just something off the wall like that. But you know, the common sense part of me stopped me and said, you know what, this dude, kind of a junkie. Just in case he comes back with it, let's let this opportunity pass. But I really just wanted to see if this dude would go steal a mannequin and if he had the skills to leave a Sears with an entire mannequin. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see. But anyway, that's episode 2. I got to put together some more. I'm thinking about all these stories, and it's a long list. I've got this little notepad that I'm writing like all the little snippets of stories from my time at GameStop, and wow, now that I think about it, a lot of stuff is coming back to me, and that place was definitely the Wild West of retail back in the early days. But that's all I got for this one, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments if I should focus a little more on the customers or a little more on the company. What do you guys think? And give me a like, give me a subscribe, and you guys go out and find some more videos. And there's a lot more stories like these from GameStop on YouTube. You should go track them down. They're pretty funny. But thanks for listening. You guys have a good